Welcome to Game Soup, it's a game design podcast where we throw ideas in a pot and see what's cooking. I'm Chloe Montgomery and I'm joined by your girlfriend's girlfriend.
Kayla Dice! Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, statistically probably.
That is... What's the someone said to me recently at an industry thing, was talking about like a game and mentioned that an ex of theirs used to play it. And then just like, this was a person I just met, was like, I think they've been in like, one trans polycule since in their life, so you're probably somehow their metamor. And I was like, I'm not that. I am not as much as I appear to be.
I saw some post on Tumblr about like the greater Seattle polycule, and it's like just via the amount of metamors, everyone's kind of dating everybody.
Yeah, I'm not that. I just look like that.
But, yeah.
But I am your girlfriend's
girlfriend. Yes, statistically. So, this episode's coming out at UKGE, which we are clearly at, and have been at for 2 days now.
Yeah. We popped this one out in the morning. Live. So, it's radio, basically.
Basically, yeah. We had our live show yesterday, so that'll probably go up next week.
Yeah. But this week we've got the really live show. I'll, say, the thing that I think is great about how we are on the Saturday morning already, oh no, it's the afternoon is when we release the episodes, is that I definitely haven't pushed myself, and I'm not currently in pain from having worked too hard already. I'm really proud of the fact that is...
It's never a thing you do at conventions.
Come visit me at stall, and I will tell you...
I need a handler
get in the eye
for you.
And tell you I'm fine right now, and I'll mean it. That won't be a lie. I wouldn't lie to you.
And then you'll groan.
I will. Like, will you look at me and go, like, she looks more support braced than human at this point? Maybe. That's besides the point.
If you want to support Kayla, you can buy her an energy drink or support the Patreon.
You're also...
Who knows which will help more?
Buy
it's the energy drink.
A bunch of games from me, Kayla.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me an energy drink, and I'll give you £2 off Transgender Deathmatch Legend.
A snog. It's probably better than a snog.
I can't offer snogs for... I mean, I could. But to be honest, the problem is I'd just end up with too many energy drinks. So I don't think my heart could take it. What have you bought at your UK...
So, what have I bought at UKGE? Yes, I've been planning for weeks to buy Dragonbane, the Free League dungeon crawly thing. I've decided not to buy a D&D source book because I was considering running the Vecna campaign that just came out, but also, why would I do that to myself? I'll maybe just wait for 6E to come out and then run it then, but...
Have I bought anything? It's a great question, because I'm very stressed about money, and I, while I have considered telling my employers I've spent their per diem on lunch, but actually to buy games, I think they'd tell that I'm really hungry and be obviously pissed off at me. So I've decided not to do that so far. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, what I tend to do is I do a lot of looking when I've got breaks and stuff, and then I am planning to do most of my purchasing on Sunday, unless I hear that something I'm really wanting is going to sell out. But last year at Gamespo, I did actually buy some bigger things because I had a job. This year I don't have... Well, my only job is this, so... And this is also a thing. If by the end of today, the day it is, I've sold, a shit ton of, Terminal or whatever, I'll go out and buy myself games to celebrate. There's a direct correlation between how much you come to my stall and give me money. By my stall, I mean the Soul Muppet stall where I'm selling things and you can give me money and energy drinks. If you do that, I can go out and I can buy games. I could buy lots of them. I could buy...
Have you any plan? Any plan for any games?
Well, the thing is, I know who's around, but I forgot to... I avoid making hit lists.
Damn. You just kind of go vibes.
Also, actually, this is the other thing I can do by tomorrow, and I can do it today, is because, as you know, it is basically my birthday right now.
It's not for... What, today's Saturday, so it's coming on Tuesday, so not really.
I mean, we're basically within the week. I think some people might even argue that even earlier in the week, say the day before Gexpo, when we were packing, it was probably still my birthday.
You are utterly insane. I only celebrate my birthday on my birthday, not like a week before and after.
I just think we're in the birthday era right now, and so I think I definitely prod someone to buy me stickers at least. But just going,
trying to make your birthday fucking Christmas.
It is my birthday. And the other thing to remember is I actually have many bad memories associated with my birthday, so I do need to be entertained.
You can't make this a trauma thing. Totally not fair. Right.
I couldn't hear you for
No, I'm just contemplating
how much it's my birthday and how much
how much I'm not going to spend on you.
That is fine.
I will watch an episode of Dungeon Meshi with you.
Oh, that would actually be quite cute. For my birthday, what was I going to say relating to it? Oh yeah, I thought you were just contemplating how much you can bear to spend any time with me at the weekend now. The rest of the weekend. Now you realise I'm going to be like that all the time.
Honey, you're like trying to put on this thing of being a silly bitch just for your birthday, but like you're always like this, so...
I have no idea what you're talking about. A little bit petulant,
a little bit demanding.
Are you suggesting that me... on a day-to-day basis,
yeah, you're a spark princess.
I was doing some networking last week, and I always feel like slightly weird while doing networking, because I don't think I'm good at it, but I've heard I am good at it, because I'm not trying to do any networking. I'm just mainly trying to entertain myself socially. It does mean I think that mainly I was just really frequently a massive bitch. And I mentioned this to someone, I was like, I'm worried I'm being a massive bitch. I don't know if this is good networking. And they were like, no, it's fine. You're funny while you do it. And I was like, oh, great. I'm glad that, like, I can keep this up as long as people find it entertaining.
The thing is, though, you'll accidentally step over some invisible line and suddenly everyone in the room will turn to you and be like, fuck you. Like 73 yards ass, everybody turns and then starts screaming, running out of the room.
But no, but like the thing is, the lesson I've learned from stand-up is you step over the line and you got to kind of like keep dragging it a bit until it goes back to being funny. You know, if they don't laugh at 2 minutes, they'll laugh at 10.
The game Supersonics.
Anyway, this is a game design podcast rather than a game gossip.
People have been saying this. Yes, so you had an idea this week.
I had an idea because I was riffing with someone about dice, and that being a plural word. So the tagline I've just got is, it's a diceless game, you're allowed one. Now, I think this is you are allowed a single...
Which kind of doesn't mean anything.
But I think you're allowed a single roll of a die. And we've just got to decide, where in this otherwise diceless game is the single roll of a die most impactful? Like, I don't think this can just be you roll on a random table at the start. That's fucking boring. Get that? Like, it's fun if rolling a lot. I'm, not saying I'm anti-table. But, like, a single table roll is not like...
Yeah.
Oh, the single roll of the die. You need something bigger.
So is it once per session or per campaign?
I think it depends on otherwise what kind of game we make.
Because, like, if it was per session, it could be like an expendable resource. Oh, I'm going to use my super attack or whatever. If it's per campaign, you need it to be like a totally, like, neck chop to the GM. Like, just totally fuck everything.
Yeah.
Sort of shit.
I guess the useful thing maybe here to figure out is what are the mechanics of this game beyond this die roll? Like, because this is otherwise diceless, but, like, are we imagining, like, you know, we're otherwise a BOB game, but you get one roll somewhere? Or are we imagining, like, no, this is probably still GM, and you've maybe just got, like, otherwise a lot of, like, expendable resources, which replenish at certain things?
Yeah, I think if you, like, introduce cards or, like, meeples or tokens or whatever, you're getting away from the fun of it, because that could just be any old thing, and then, oh, also, there's one move that uses a dice. Like, I think it should be a totally everything but that one dice. Like, maybe it could be BOB and you've got your tokens or whatever, but I don't think you want to be having, like, oh, it's a card game and then I can roll a dice
so it
to get
shouldn't
a bonus
otherwise be
once
too
a game or something.
I think, like, a sort of resource expenditure could still work, but there it then needs to be, like, whatever the dice roll thing is, like, super important. So I don't know, is it a move?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I'm using my once a campaign, like, amazing Super Saiyan attack.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled a 1. Oh, well.
I wonder if this
It
got to
still
be
needs to
something
do
where, like,
something on
there's
a
clearly
one.
an arc and there's clearly a rising action, and you're at some point getting to the top of this when roll happens. So I'm curious, is this, like, I don't feel like this is,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this maybe like a sort of heist or con kind of game? Or like a break-in. Maybe not a heist so much, but like a break-in.
Go into that. Explain your thinking. Yeah.
And like, otherwise you're using a lot of resources, but whenever you get to what your like sort of bounty is, that's where you've got to roll a dice. And I don't know if it's just a, can you acquire it? Maybe it's like whatever this thing you're trying to heist will go really fucking weird instantly. And like, the dice roll determines how and why.
I think that could be fun in the sort of, like, the dice determines, like, on a big list of stuff, like, oh, here's what the twist is.
Yeah.
Because every heist has a twist. I wouldn't want it to be like, oh, I rolled a 6, so inside the vault there's a big diamond. Like, it has to be like, oh, and the cops are already here, or somebody on your team is working for the FBI.
Yeah, that could be fun. The big dice roll is the eventual twist. Which I'm aware I did say I didn't want to do a table, and this is kind of that, but I feel like we've locked it in an area at least.
It's kind of a table.
Oh, I've got a great title for this. Because it's a heist, and you've got a single die. Get rich or die trying.
Sure. She's sticking her tongue out at me on the webcam, so that's how she knows she's had a good idea.
That is a lot how I'm like, good idea happened. I'm so glad I was so much more physically normal at the Game Soup live recording yesterday. And I wasn't made a spectacle of by how much I moved my arms and made weird faces.
The time you took your shirt off was weird, but, like, I was for it.
You were very pro, yeah, I remember.
So, it's B.O.B. game, your roles are, like, your mastermind, the face, the muscle, you know, your generic whatevers. I think, what is the thing that gets people in the door? Because I think this rolling on a table is cute, but it's not, like, I wouldn't put on the the box or whatever, like, and there's only one dice roll.
I mean, it's also the thing of why I almost want it not to be a randomizer, is because, like, the truth is you can do randomize with a lot of other shit. Like, they're often dice because people are otherwise playing with dice, but it's like in card-based games, card tables exist and stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we do want it to be like one dice, it's just about to say like turn die roll into doll, which is bad. I feel like maybe it does need to be like. I mean, this is a thing. We've not decided what die it is.
Yeah. So everybody has their own unique die.
Interesting. This is a great idea.
On the die that you have a special class. And it's a meta breakdown of RPGs.
Maybe it's a roll with a bunch of bonuses that have been built throughout the heist.
Yeah. So, like, over the course of, like, your plan or whatever, you're like, and here's a screwdriver I brought earlier to unlock the doors or whatever, and that gets you a +1 or whatever to your eventual thing. And then when you're eventually trying to escape, or you get back to the base or whatever, then you roll your dice with all these bonuses. And I think
like there's a bit of bullshit math to the single dice roll, because
nonsense.
To be honest, we can be a bit like complicated with it because they only have to figure it out once. I know I keep going, like, resource management, but I'm like, I do sort of like that idea, like, as well. As well as, like, I brought out this stuff, so we did this. I think there's, like, levels. Like, I do think we have, like, levels, and so there's, like, obstacles on every level, and you're kind of recording the success of how you did on each level, so you know those are what your modifiers are. I feel there's also maybe think about, like, I brought 3 flashbangs to the heist. I had 1 left by the time we got to the final level. That means that's adding this complication to the die roll.
Yeah.
I skimmed.
Did you ever read In the Time
I don't
of
think
Monsters
I got to the
by
maths
J.
or
Dragon?
grid parts. Got through some of the, like, the teenage lesbians talking about the plot.
Yeah, so it was like a tactical character-based RPG. Yeah. So it was like a tactical RPG character-based. Like, you have your pre-made characters, but it's all like Norse gods and shit. So it's like you would roll 2d6 to the power of one of your stats. So you'd end up with like 4,800 as your eventual roll or some bullshit.
Yeah, I feel
like
the
that.
same. Like, your die roll
And I want to say the final boss had a billion health.
D20 or whatever minus X, where X equals like any instances of heat you gained on each floor, plus Y equals your remaining equipment you haven't used. Bracket that times by, like, Z equals, any people who haven't been captured, or, I think there is very much a...
Yeah. I think, like, in character generation, like, when you're picking your moves, each of them has, like an additional, formula that you add to the eventual thing.
This is great for two film graduates talking about all of the complicated maths they love. That's fun. I do actually feel like this is the weird thing with this. One is, I think, like, this would probably need to be playtested.
Board on the itch page.
Yeah, probably. And I almost feel part of me wonders if you'd almost go in the sort of capsule direction here, capsule game direction here, where, like, a lot of those things, if they're, like, adding some stuff to the equation, maybe they're, like, a bit pre-written. But maybe not. Like, maybe... But I'm, like... I could see it being, like, there's a lot of... I feel a lot of the floor stuff beforehand is really all about, like... It's a mix of puzzle stuff and, like, improv. Like, thinking on your feet, improvising shit. I still like get rich or die trying.
Yeah. I think it would be fun. I think, like, get rich or do 20 trying or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, if you say so.
No, I think, like, die on the cover page is, like, on a cube or something, and it's, like, really clear what it is.
Yeah, no,
like a
that
D20
makes sense.
picture. I think this has, like, a year or two of support where every convention we go to, we run several games of this with a new map or whatever. And it, like, we release the new map at the convention, and then, like, people play it and they try to get the high score, and whoever gets the high score gets it for free or some shit.
Yeah, I can see this being a genuinely really fun con game.
And then
someone suggested to me, like, oh, you should run some, like, pickup games of Psychodungeon at Dragon Meet. But on the Wednesday before we left for Dragon Meet, where we are right now, not Dragon Meet, Gexpo.
We're at Gexpo.
I was very tired and couldn't go to the library to print anything, so I don't think that's a very practical idea. I don't know if I can just hand my phone around to people being like, yeah, just read through that. Read it.
You should run fucking Psychodungeon or whatever it ends up being your newest game at Dragon Meet at iGoth.
Yeah, I want to do more of iGoth. I tried to do some last year, but, like, that feels harder, or at least I feel guiltier there about stepping away from the stall, because it's a stall I'm sharing with other people and it's all our stall. Whereas Gexpo, it's like, I don't give a fuck about stepping away from the stall, because I have hours where I work and I'm supposed to be off for other hours, and I'm paid for the time I'm on, and I'm not paid for the time I'm off, so I have no guilt, because I'm there to do a job. Yeah, I think Psychodungeon could do con-play quite well. It's never really a thing I think of when I make a game, of like, would this be good for cons or would it not be? I do wonder if it's one of those things I should think more about.
Yeah, it's like, I do like a pre-written con adventure, but I've never played a game at a con, so...
Have you not?
No.
Oh. Because I know
Alyssa runs Goblin Countries and Tournament Acts, but I just like to hang out.
Yeah, I've played games at Dragon Meet, which is how I met Alyssa.
Yeah.
Properly. Our Meet Cute was a game of Goblin Country. And I ran stuff at Gen Con because the DGA wanted me to do that, which was genuinely really fun, and I enjoyed the games I had there for that. I think it's a complicated thing. It's like Transgender Deathmatch Legend would be fun, but it's a terrible game. It's not a terrible game for con running specifically, and it's like really quick and fun to play, but also it's like, it's not great getting to meet a bunch of people because it's 2 players.
Yeah. It's not a good automatically advertises it to 6 people every time you play it game.
Yeah, which Psychodungeon could do more, and also I think can be something where your pace for cons is easy. I think if I had thought about it before Monday, I'd have probably printed out some sheets for Psychodungeon, but I imagine
I have a printer,
I
could bring you some.
What was that?
We have a printer, I could bring you some.
Oh, yeah. Perhaps if after...
Psychodungeon. Perhaps at UKGE.
Perhaps at UKGE. After this recording, I'll send a message to myself in the past. And see if they can figure out, like, what it would need. All it would need is, like, the play sheets and stuff. Because everything else, I'll do the procedure shit on my phone, you know? But see if I can get an hour away from this stand.
So, what is your con setting? What is your con dungeon?
I've now
Do you have like a pre-made one in the book, or?
Well, this is the thing. So, as things currently stand, We may have funded by the time this airs. Fingers crossed.
Yes, if you've not backed Psychodungeon.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Pause this podcast now and go to the link in the description and fix your life.
So, like, the way the dungeons work is they're sort of collaboratively built by the players. So it doesn't have, like, a pre-written one because it's like you create this client and that creates the dungeon in general. I've said I can add a sample one to the book as a stretch goal. Because there it would just be, I write up a bit of a client, I write up a thing, and I include some suggestions, probably, like, in a bullet point. There are 3 levels, I probably give 3 suggestions each for, like, this is what this might manifest, like, specifically here. Sort of as, like, a tool for if you're a bit less experienced with the, like, improving a setting of B.O.B. stuff. Yeah. But I won't make that unless I am given an entire extra grand. Because I think, like, yeah, the stretch goals are a way of me pacing what I'll do on the game, because I could keep expanding this game. I could add so much shit to Psychodungeon. Like, there's genuinely so many ideas.
Yeah. If it's not going to make you more money, why bother though?
Yeah, I mean, and I could do it for the love of the game, but also at a certain point, I'm like, yeah. I probably, like, if we just fund, I have enough money off of this Kickstarter that, like, that was a good wage for a month. Well done, myself. I should probably... I'll spend that month, that's my wage, finishing up the game. I'm not going to go beyond that month, though, because otherwise I'm going to do just a bunch on page sure. So if you want that sample dungeon, give me $1,000. I want it from a single individual. Honestly, if a single individual gives me $1,000, I'll make them a bespoke dungeon. That's just an offer. You just got to drop an email to gamesoup@gmail.com. Clay will forward it to me. We'll sort this shit out. Dungeon for $1,000.
Pod.
What did I say? Is it gamesouppod@gmail.com? Thanks.
Yes.
I've now swapped to an entirely different...
Thank you for listening to gamesouppod@gmail.com.
Different genre of bitch. Keep going. You've just ended the pod. It doesn't matter. They can't stop me.